Hi, it's Gitanjali here from High Definition U, and I am thrilled today to be talking with one of my favourite clients. They're all favourites, really, is Tiffany Foxwell. She's joining us all the way from Australia. Hi, Tiffany.
Hello. Good day.
Tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are.
So I work in the advertising industry. I'm a marketing specialist and a leader in the digital advertising world. I spent the last 10 years of my career in London and then recently relocated over to Sydney, September of last year. And then in January, decided to move on to Pastors New. So I'm now venturing into a new world of career path change, new opportunities over here. That decision was made pre-COVID, so the complexities of that have happened. But yeah, so I'm a digital advertising specialist.
And tell me a little bit about what your life and work was like before we started working together. You know, what were you struggling with and why did you feel like you needed help?
Yeah, sure. I think over the last few years, I've kind of navigated myself on a career path that's been quite technical and quite analytical in times. And actually, that's not essentially my skill set. That's not where I excel or where my passions are and what I naturally enjoy. So I started to think about relocating with work and also, my life from London to Sydney. But really needed some help to navigate that huge change, basically. And I feel like I've been on, I'm at a crossroads at the moment in terms of my career, and I just needed a bit of guidance and help to start setting some goals, figuring out what I want, both personally and professionally, and really helping to make those next key decisions, essentially. And this came along at the perfect time to help me do that.
And yeah, it really was good timing, wasn't it? I know in terms of timing, you'd been getting my emails every week and sort of been in the periphery for a little while. Was there any resistance? Did anything really show up for you when you decided to commit? Anything that stopped you from saying yes initially?
I jumped at the chance. I think our first conversation, I signed up straight away. So I didn't have any personal resistance at all. And I would encourage anybody to sign up because it's been an amazing, amazing journey. As we got closer to starting the course, I would say possibly the only one thing that I was mindful of was the group element. But actually, in practice, I got a huge amount of mentorship almost out of that. People sharing stories, hearing other people's challenges and also their successes and celebrations was incredibly helpful. And I think it really does help to hear outside of your own world what other people are battling at our level in various industries. So I found that was my only consideration, and it melted within 15 seconds of our first session, I would say.
It has been so lovely seeing the collective being shared in this community. It's one of the things that I personally love about this type of group coaching work. So tell me a little bit about what life looks like now, what's changed for you, and what are the improvements that might have been made?
Yeah, so huge amount of changes and improvements. The first being really defining what my BPO is, so my best possible outcome for the course period, but also while I'm in this crossroads of my career, what the best possible outcome for me is at this really important time. I feel like I've got such an opportunity at the moment to make the right decisions. So really defining that BPO, which for me was finding the right role and the right next move and making conscious decisions towards that, really helped me to stay focused on that path. Other things that I've been working on are things like setting boundaries and learning how to say no. I was definitely a yes person before, and very much feared saying no to anybody, particularly in a professional capacity. I felt like that was showing weakness, and actually it's just wasting time. You really do need to say yes to the things that you excel in and delegate or recruit the team in for things that you don't. So it massively helped me to identify what my strengths are, and when to say no for the right reasons. And that kind of just goes on to understanding our style. So I got a huge amount out of the style workshops that we were doing, and learning that I'm a driver, but I'm also expressive and amiable. So learning how to play on the strengths of all of those at different times, and also understanding my audience and how to play on the strengths of understanding their characteristics and their styles as well has been really, really helpful, both personally and professionally. Actually, it's been really super helpful.
Oh yeah, there's lots of little personal things that we start to notice, isn't there, about the people around us through those.
Driver, right? Okay, I know how to act with him.
Exactly. Which is why I always say it's, people might come for the professional coaching, but actually, it's a human being that's being coached ultimately, and it's both parts, the whole part of you that's really evolving and transforming. So take me to the moment when you knew that the coaching was working, Tiffany.
I think there was a couple of light bulb moments for me. The first one was when I actually made a conscious decision to say no to somebody, and I know that I would have said yes prior, and it happened in parallel. It happened both on a personal level and professionally, just setting those boundaries. And I just thought I've really actually shifted the way my mind works, and I'm completely comfortable now with being a bit more assertive in saying no, and respecting my time. So that's been super helpful. And I think in moving into my next role, or just in terms of life and having better balance, that's been really helpful. And I think that was the turning point where I was like, I'm not just a yes person now. I can say no and it's fine. And that happened quite early on, actually. That was in one of our earlier workshops. So that's been a continuous momentum of learning how to, always set those boundaries, which is really helpful.
Those light bulb moments are great, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think the other thing was we did the task of, what tasks do I want to do and what do I need to do? What do I have to do but I don't want to do? And we started to evaluate these tasks and break those up. And actually I really did start to understand how much I do procrastinate in certain areas, and trying to shift again my focus of, I know that I don't want to do this, but it's essential, so therefore I need to break it down and make that more manageable to complete. And then other things where I'm spending way more time on the things that I don't need to do but I want to do, I need to just reduce that a bit. So that those learnings and those tools really helped through, typical procrastination tasks that I would find myself wasting time over.
Procrastination is such a big topic, isn't it? It's huge.
Yeah, and it came up a lot in our group as well, actually. I think that was definitely a theme with everybody. It was procrastination and putting blocks in front of getting tasks done, and learning how to break down a task that feels very overwhelming and huge. And it might just be because either you don't like it or it doesn't fit within your natural style of what you're good at. But regardless, you've got to get it done. So it just was really helpful to not put it off any longer and attack it.
So what is it about the way that we've worked together in this group coaching program that's allowed you to get these results?
The group, first and foremost, has been really helpful. So hearing other people's challenges, sometimes similar, sometimes not, have been super helpful. And the Q&A, particularly the coach, so we have our weekly, bi-weekly, the Q&A sessions where people can just talk freely about challenges within the week or the few weeks, and then chatting through solutions and hearing you talk and guide people through to get to a resolution. That's been super helpful for me. And I think for everybody, you can see people in the discussion having light bulbs going off because they're like, that makes so much sense now. Okay, now I know what I need to do. And it is true. And I think without those Q&A sessions to go alongside the theory, maybe we'd be learning a lot, but actually, are we really putting it into practice? And what are the obstacles that we're still facing when we're trying to put into practice the good work? So I think the Q&A, particularly after the theory sessions, have been helpful, and the homework, setting of tasks like identifying your time, where are you spending your time, make better conscious choices, learn how to say no this week, doing things like that have been super helpful and just kept us accountable, I think. Oh, and accountability buddies, of course.
Yeah, of course.
That also really helps.
So what really surprised you or delighted you about this coaching program?
I think how well I've responded to it. So actually putting into practice the learnings. And I've made some significant decisions over the last few weeks that have helped me achieve or get closer towards my BPO, so my best possible outcome, that I'm pretty confident I wouldn't have made those choices had we not done this coaching together. And there's been a couple of critical moments throughout coaching where everyone's had that kind of right, this is my week where I've had that discovery, and we've found the confidence because we've talked it through, and you have the support of the group as well. I think that really is a huge part of the success here. It's the success of everybody and sharing and feeling very, very empowered by everybody's honesty, the fact that we're all human, the fact that we're all going through the exact same challenges at our level, but actually when you break it down and you take a breath and you use the tools and put them into practice, it's actually really, really positive to see everybody's successes and everyone's mini wins through, week by week.
Yeah, really and nice. It's been lovely because you're not all the same. You're not all in the same position. Some have their own companies, some are working for other people, some are looking for the next opportunity. So just being able to draw on that collective wisdom has been a lovely thing to witness, as well as see how empowering it has been for all of you. So if someone's watching this, Tiffany, and they're feeling inspired by your story and the transformation that you've created in your life, what advice would you give to them?
I would say don't hesitate for a moment and sign up and do it. I wish this course was going on for longer. It makes me sad that it's coming to an end soon, but I feel empowered by everything that we've learned and you've taught us. I've got a huge amount out of it, and I feel like I could have made some bad choices at a particularly important crossroads in my life. And I'm sure whether somebody's looking for a new role or just changing their role or setting up a business and having the confidence to do that, because that takes a huge amount of courage, use these tools and techniques and work with Geeta, because you really do help people to feel like anything is possible. And you've definitely helped people make better conscious choices and get the tasks done that they needed and to believe in themselves. And I've seen a huge amount of success from everybody in our group, particularly my own personal story, obviously. So do it.
Amazing, Tiffany. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure working with you and watching you grow and transform. And I look forward to seeing more of it in the future.
Thank you, Geeta.